And shifting focus to the big claim coming in from the Putin regime, which alleges the Kremlin was targeted by a Ukrainian drone in a bid to assassinate Vladimir Putin. The Russian government has released visuals of the alleged drone strike on the Kremlin, claiming Ukrainian forces have hatched an assassination plot to execute the Russian president. Remember, this comes ahead of the Ukrainian counter-offensive in a bid to reclaim territories under Russian control, as the Russian war machine faces logistical issues, including the shortage of food, arms, medicines, and low morale. Putin is also facing pressure in Moscow as the war has dragged on for over 400 days, and the West continues to arm and supply the Ukrainian forces. Reports suggest Russia is ready for a counter-offensive in the wake of the Kremlin attack and has put its bombers on standby. An air alert has been sounded in Kiev. And breaking news coming in, Ukrainian President Zelensky has finally reacted to the charges from the Russian government. He has denied the allegation that Ukrainian forces launched the attack on the Kremlin, saying Putin has lost and is looking for reasons to keep his own people encouraged. Listen in.
You know, I can repeat this message, and I think it will at least will be understandable for everybody. We don't attack Putin or Moscow. We fight on our territory. We are defending our villages and cities. We don't have, enough weapon for this. That's why we don't use it anywhere. For us, that is the deficit. We can't spend it. And we didn't attack Putin. We leave it to tribunal.
They lost all their respect, if they had some. I'm not the one to judge, but this is what's been happening right now. And because of that, he has to do some unexpected moves.
Right, so that pitch coming in from Volodymyr Zelensky, who has made the pitch that this is a false flag operation by the Putin regime. Zelensky making that pitch that Ukraine has no role to play in what happened in Moscow, saying that this is just a stunt by the Putin regime to encourage his own forces to continue the offensive in Ukraine as Zelensky's forces mount that counter-offensive. I'm joined by my colleague Siddhant on the phone line. So Siddhant, this pitch coming in from the Ukrainian forces that this is just a false flag operation by Putin in order to motivate his troops to keep the war machine running as Ukraine mounts that counter-offensive to liberate its territories from Russian control.
Well, that's right. And in fact, Ukraine also went on to say that this particular incident will give Russia more strong ground to go ahead with the counteroffensive. Now, so basically two drones were spotted in the sky over Moscow, and in fact, both of them were brought down with the help of air defense system of Russia. Now, Kremlin has a story. Kremlin side is that it is Ukraine which is behind this conspiracy, and the plan was to assassinate Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. Ukraine has to say that it is Russia which has orchestrated this entire plot, so that they can get more strong ground to go ahead with this special military operation in Ukraine. Now, what is a reality of this is something which time will only tell. But right now, one thing is for sure, that this war, which everyone is expecting to end soon, is not going to end anytime soon, since this particular incident has occurred, where a drone has reached right at the roof of Kremlin, or in fact exploded on the roof of Kremlin. So even if who is behind it is something which time will only tell,
right.
But this will act as a catalyst in terms of war which is going on between Russia and Ukraine. And tomorrow we would see other countries to react to it, or maybe to take a position. In fact, we can also expect a detailed statement coming from the United States of America tonight. And interestingly, tomorrow, Sergei Lavrov, foreign minister of Russia, is going to be in Goa, India, and where he will be holding bilateral talks with EM Jaishankar on the sidelines of SCO summit. And it would also be interesting to see that how Sergei Lavrov is going to raise this entire issue, perhaps put up this entire issue
Right.
with his counterparts in Goa. That would really be interesting to see. Back to you.
Right. Thank you, Siddharth, for getting us.